Before this video begins, I just want to clarify that these allegations are not new. This is a follow-up video to my previous video on Omrecker. So as we all know, in May 2021, Keemstar uploaded a video onto Dramalet titled Vanos Crew Serious Allegations, where he had brought on the ex-crew member Omrecker to expose them. Now if you saw my previous video on Omrecker, you would know that when Ohm first tried to expose the member H2O Delirious for being an alleged predator, you would know that the evidence he provided at first was unsubstantial. However, what I did not properly cover in my previous video was the alleged victims and other accusations that came out a couple months after the Dramalet video, hence why I'm making this video. So yeah, these are the H2O Delirious allegations. So on the 21st of July, Ohm uploaded a video stating he was not able to upload interviews of Delirious' alleged victims until July, due to Delirious sending him a legal cease and desist the month prior.
About a month ago to the day, I received a cease and desist from Jonathan, aka H2O Delirious, and it was from an attorney. I, of course, had to have my attorneys run through this. It was a pretty lengthy letter that was received.
So after this statement, Ohm uploaded the first interview with an anonymous girl called Sai. In the interview, Sai claimed back in 2013, when she was underage, she and Delirious would have sexting calls over Skype.
Were you of age? Were you over 18 years old?
No.
And what was your relationship with Delirious at that time?
We would do things, like over Skype.
Do things like play video games, or like what sort of...
Like phone sex.
Another thing Sai stated was after the Dramalet came out, she had emailed Delirious demanding an apology for what he allegedly did to her back in 2013, going as far as to message Marcel on Instagram.
Did you attempt to confront Delirious or anything like that?
I sent him an email, hoping to even just get a sorry, and a simple apology would have been nice.
Did you ask anybody else to help with an apology?
Yes. I asked Marcel to contact him, and he did, as far as I'm aware, twice.
And the final statement in this video that was pretty interesting was Ohm had gotten an email from someone who pretended to be Sai on the 24th of May, telling Ohm that her allegations were false, one day after the actual Sai emailed Ohm on the 23rd, making them theorize that it was possibly Delirious.
When you emailed me, I got an email shortly after that, as you said, had your full name spelled exactly how you spell it.
Yep, and it's not a common name.
Right. And the email account was nearly identical. It was one digit off in terms of the account name at a different provider. That unfortunately,
it was the numbers at the end that were off.
Right, it was one number. One number was off.
Now here's the problem with this interview. There's a lack of evidence. Sai didn't show any evidence to suggest she and Delirious were in an online relationship back in 2013. Now I know there were Instagram DMs leaked with Marcel, however, the conversations she had with Marcel in the DMs are very vague. Sure, they prove she was trying to get in contact with Delirious, however the messages don't specify it was for what Delirious did to her back in 2013. Anyway, shortly after this interview came out, Delirious responded to Sai's claims in a twitlonger, stating they were false. He claimed that he knew of her and had played a few games with her in the past, however, the two had never had a personal or intimate interaction. Delirious had also claimed that Sai was apparently known for being in a swatting and doxing group, insinuating she was not to be trusted as she was an alleged criminal, although in fairness, just because Sai was an alleged doxer does not really disprove her claims. Ohm then responded to Delirious' twitlonger stating that apparently Sai was never part of any swatting group or doxing group, further going on to show a tweet from one of the people in the doxing group, Matt, who also tweeted at Delirious stating that Sai was never involved in doxing or swatting. The second alleged victim Ohm interviewed next goes by the anonymous name Sarah. In the interview, she claimed that when she was underage, she was a fan of Delirious and would constantly tweet at him. Then apparently one day Delirious followed her on Twitter and the two became intimate with one another.
I was actually a big fan of his. I'd tweet at him, I'd have his merch and I'd reply to all his tweets about his videos and stuff, and I'd post photos of myself wearing his merch, and he followed me one day, so obviously I was so excited and I messaged him just saying hi, favorite YouTuber, followed me, and we were talking back and forth, but things got sexual very quickly. Like, he kind of didn't hesitate, just kind of straight away was flirting and making sexual advances. Even, you know, like, judging by my Twitter at the time, it would have been pretty obvious that I was in school, a teenager.
After a while, Sarah claimed she blocked him as she felt he would only talk to her to get explicit photos from her.
But, like, you know, eventually I kind of started realizing, you know, everything is sexual. He only talks to me when he's looking for these pictures and videos and stuff. And I messaged him one day on Twitter and just said, look, like, I'm not doing this anymore. It's not cool. Like, you're clearly just using me, you know, for your own pleasure. And it's just not cool, you know. So, yeah, we stopped talking then.
And the evidence Sarah provided to prove she and Delirious had conversations in the past was this DM. However, the problem with this DM is we don't know if this is actually a DM conversation between Sarah and Delirious. The main problem in believing it is Sarah's account being blurred due to her remaining anonymous. Moving forward in the interview, Sarah's last central claim against Delirious was him allegedly threatening her baby after she had called him a nonce on Twitter.
So I tweeted out pure anger, saying, you know, just because your girlfriend's pregnant doesn't mean you're not a nonce, you know, like, so I got a DM from a page that it came through as like a message request. So I went into the profile first just to kind of see, and there was no profile picture, very, you know, kind of no really activity on the page. Almost instantly making threats about my daughter, my 5-month-old daughter. They knew her name, which, to be fair, wasn't that much of a deal because I have often tweeted about her. But they were sending emojis of guns and a car and saying my daughter's name and saying that she is gone. You know, it didn't bother me, the emojis, to begin with, but then when they started saying my daughter is gone, I was kind of like, okay, you know, this is weird. I was like, what do you mean she's gone? And, you know, they were sending the car emoji, the gun emoji. What kind of worried me then, I thought it was just a troll, but then this person who was DMing me started mentioning people in my private life that I haven't mentioned before.
Now again, the problem with this statement is there isn't any public proof to suggest the account Ray Harpy was created or used by Delirious. Anyway, after this interview was released, Delirious never responded to Sarah's claims, only sighs.
What is up, Trouble Alert Nation? I'm your host, Killer Keemstar. Let's get right into the news!
Several months after the interviews had come out, Keemstar uploaded a video onto Drama talking about H2O Delirious. In the video, Keemstar explained how Delirious had for some reason gone permanently suspended on Twitter, and when he got suspended, all of the alt accounts that were harassing the alleged victims were also banned at the same time he was banned. If you have multiple Twitter accounts where your phone number/email is linked to all of them and one of them gets banned, all of your accounts end up being suspended as well, leading people to theorize that Delirious was allegedly the one who owned the alt accounts.
Well, we told you on last Drama Alert that his Twitter account got suspended, got banned. And this is a big deal because he was verified on Twitter, meaning an actual human at Twitter had to review this and decided that he should be banned. But also, his alt accounts were banned. People suggesting that it was either an IP ban or a hardware ban. But that's not all. There were more Twitter accounts being banned. Let me explain. There are allegations against H2O Delirious that he had inappropriate relations and got photos and pictures back and forth with underage fans. Now, some of those alleged victims were being harassed. People were jumping in their DMs, doxing them, harassing their baby, harassing their family, etc., etc., etc. Now, those accounts that were harassing his alleged victims on Twitter also got banned around the same time. So, people are suggesting that H2O Delirious himself was, in fact, on alt accounts and other accounts harassing these alleged victims.
Not only this, but Omreka revealed to Keemstar new information that apparently the authorities were now involved. 2 weeks after this video came out, H2O Delirious' girlfriend Liz Katz uploaded a video explaining why Delirious got banned on Twitter. Before she did, she regurgitated what Delirious said about the alleged victim Sai, and then went on to respond to Sarah's claims about Delirious, claiming that Delirious had no clue who Sarah was. Another thing Liz Katz did in her video was dox Sarah, whose actual name is Amy. Furthermore in the video, Liz exposed how Amy was not a minor in 2015 when Delirious had allegedly contacted her by showing tweets of Amy claiming how she was going to bars and claiming to be 20.
First of all, this woman makes the claims that during that time she was in school. Well, that's not the case. She was constantly tweeting about how happy she was that she was out of school, about how she needed to go back into school because she just wasn't that smart, about how she wasn't going to school anymore. We also have numerous tweets of her claiming she's nearly 20, claiming that people her age are all, getting married and settling down and being calm. She just wants to play video games. And this is all in 2015. From 2014 to 2015, she was also constantly talking about how she's bar hopping, about how she's going to go get her own apartment.
Another thing Liz exposed about Amy is by showing tweets where she talks about destroying people's careers, implying that she had intentions to be malicious against people like Delirious. When it came to the subject of Delirious allegedly threatening Amy's baby, Liz showed tweets from Amy where she was publicly tweeting about her ex threatening her, making Liz assume that it was Amy's ex who threatened her baby.
Her eldest child is from another father, and this other father, according to her, is an abusive, manipulative person, that he's this terrible person that sends her threats, that he tries to reach out through fake accounts, and these are all her claims against her ex, which this sounds like way more something an ex would do.
Now before I move on to Liz explaining the real reason why Delirious was banned, I want to quickly explain how the victim Amy publicly came out and responded to Liz's video. 2 days after Liz Katz's video, Amy publicly came out with a video explaining how Liz completely lied about her. The first thing she said that Liz completely got wrong was Amy's age.
The main thing that I see people running with is saying that I was 20 in 2015. That is not true. Here's my ID, I'll put it up on the screen. I was born in 1998, which means I'm 23 right now. I actually tweeted in 2014, I'll also put that tweet on screen, saying, just sitting around being 16. So it was out there, I didn't try and hide my age or lie about my age. My age was there public on my Twitter. I didn't make out like I was a different age. The tweet that Liz posted says, I'm basically like 20 now, or I'm like 20 and I'm sitting, eating cereal or whatever. Have people never heard of an inside joke? Because that's all that was. Liz seems to think that because I was bar hopping back then, that must mean that I was 20 or however old. No. Again, taken out of context. I live in Ireland. I'm not sure if people that live outside of Ireland are familiar. We drink over here like a lot, and we can start drinking when we're young, and we can go into pubs when we're young and we will get served. The people who work in the pubs, especially in small areas like where I live, they know you're underage, they will still serve you. It's not a big deal to drink around here when you were young.
The second thing Amy went on to explain was the context of her malicious career-ending tweet.
I will hold my hands up, it does make me look very, very bad. That tweet being one I tweeted saying, enough dirt on you to murder you. That tweet was not aimed at anybody in particular at all. It was not a subtweet. It was not, no one's name was mentioned in that tweet. It was literally just a song lyric, an Eminem song lyric. I didn't realize that it was a crime to tweet song lyrics.
And the final thing Amy disproved was Liz's assumption that her baby being threatened was Amy's ex, not Delirious.
Liz claims that this account could possibly be my ex, the father of my first child. I'm not with him anymore. She claims it could be him because he wasn't a nice man, and she found tweets where I was talking about him not being a very nice man. It's clear I do not like that man. So if I thought for 1 minute that it was him threatening my daughter, I would speak up on it. I'd be like, oh, there's a chance that it could be him. Again, not something I would take lightly, and I would want to find out who was behind it and get them held accountable. I would not defend my ex, trust me, if I thought for 1 minute it was him. He is not in our lives. We have zero contact. I don't even know where he is. We do not talk whatsoever. But if he did want to threaten me, he's not the kind of person, trust me, he is not the kind of person to hide behind an alt account. He would say it, and he would say it loud and proud, and he would not care what people thought of him threatening a baby. He would do it publicly, and he would not hide behind an alt account.
Now, because Amy publicly claimed she was a victim of Delirious, everyone demanded evidence from her to prove her allegations. However, she explained she could not show any evidence, as apparently the situation was in the hands of the police.
People are going to be like, oh, show your evidence, show your evidence.
I've said it a million times now. My evidence is with the authorities. It's not for Twitter to see.
So coming back to Liz Cat's video, you know how earlier in this vid, where I covered how Amy claimed Delirious allegedly used alt accounts to threaten her? Well, in Liz Cat's video, she confirmed that Delirious has had alt accounts in the past. However, Delirious claimed that he did not use them to threaten Amy, but instead used them to spread false allegations of Ohm being an alleged predator on multiple Twitter accounts, leading to his accounts getting banned.
Well, Delirious made a couple of fake accounts, all made during that time, by the way. Unlike the claims against him, he never had prior fake accounts. He's not that savvy. These accounts, though, had one goal. It was to try to share the allegations and informations he had found and seen against Ohmwrecker. He went and he has been under a handful of these accounts that he's created, all in the past 2 months. He was posting links to things that are actually banned to link on Twitter. You cannot link Kiwi Farms on Twitter, or you have a good chance of being banned. So he used one account to try to share this information with these low-level drama channels.
Now, if Liz Katz is telling the truth about Delirious, then I think we can all acknowledge that admitting to having alt accounts does not help Delirious' case in proving he 100% did not threaten one of the victims. And of course, I understand there's no proof so far that suggests Delirious created the Ray Harpy account. However, some viewers may find Delirious suspicious, as he has admitted to using alt accounts before. So those were the allegations against Delirious. If you're wondering what's going on between both Ohmwrecker and Delirious in 2023, well, so far the two are in an ongoing defamation lawsuit that has been going on since 2021. Lawsuits like this usually take years to settle, so this lawsuit between them will probably go on till 2024, if not longer. Now, if you want to stay up to date with the lawsuit between the two YouTubers, then I highly suggest you watch either Toy Bounty Hunters or TJV, as they're the ones covering all the information. Another thing I would like to say is please do not send hate to either Ohmwrecker or Delirious, regardless of your opinion on them. If you think Delirious is innocent or guilty, then please comment your reasons below. If you think Ohm is lying or telling the truth, then again, please comment your reasons below, since I'm interested in what you guys think. Personally, I'm gonna wait till the lawsuit and this apparent police investigation finishes before saying anything else. Anyway, thank you for watching this video, and as always, I'll see you in a bit.